I want us to look at why, reasons why, or factors that make parents neglect their children emotionally. Because it's a very hot issue out there, and most people tend to think it's out of cruelty that parents neglect their children. But much as it is a bad thing, it needs to be looked at in a very sober way. Because some of the factors that make parents neglect their children, I would say, are beyond their control, and some are within their control. So let's start. Let's look at all of them from the beginning. The fact reason why parents neglect their children is they are personally, emotionally unavailable. The parents themselves are emotionally unavailable. Yeah, they are physically available, but emotionally they are not available. So they don't have time to soothe their children. They don't have time to attend their children's emotional needs. They don't have time to celebrate their children when they achieve milestones. They don't even have time to maybe encourage them when things are not working for them, or help them, guide them in charting their lives, their ways in life. Parents sometimes may be there. Parents may sometimes may be thinking they are doing their best, but they lack the knowledge. They don't even know what they are supposed to be doing. Most of our parents, and even the parents we have right now, don't know that what they are doing is actually wrong. A parent may be thinking that maybe pampering, it's called over pampering, over parenting. Yeah, overparenting, they may be thinking overparenting is being emotionally there for the child. But what are you the child to be lesser uh, proactive? You're making the child to expect you to do things for them even when they have grown. So the bigger problem there is people lack knowledge. They are not aware of what they should be doing. Yeah, they may be there, they may be willing to help, but they are unaware of how the helping should be going. Now, the second reason why parents neglect their children is they are overwhelmed themselves. Parents are overwhelmed by giving responsibilities. Yeah, maybe a mother has 2 children or 3 children, and she's supposed to be taking care of all the three, and she has a small one who is occupying most of her time, and she has another 2 or even 3 who still need her to take care of them, but she can't because most of his or her time is being taken by this young one. Yeah, the other reason that parents sometimes neglect their children is lack of finances, or let's call them economic hardships. Yeah, you want to take care of your child, but the fact that you have to first of all go and look for maybe a job, or look for a hustle, or look after your business so that you can afford some money to buy them food, or to pay shelter or rent for them, then it becomes a problem. So economic hardships also make parents not to be available for their children's emotional support. Yeah, the other issue that makes parents not to be available for their children is cultural practices. Yeah, let's not forget that these parents were brought up in a certain way. Their nervous system and their brain can only remember a certain way of raising children. They don't know of any other way of bringing up children. And so when they become parents, they can only draw from their bank. They can only draw from their knowledge bank or knowledge reservoir. And the knowledge reservoir knows that when a child does something, they are pinched. Or when they try to do something that is naughty, they are shouted at. or when they try going beyond the fence, they are turned back and even caned. That is what they know. That's what is in their reservoir. That is what is in their knowledge bank. Yeah, as far as raising of children is concerned. And so she's not doing this because she really has planned not to take care of the child's emotional health or wellness, but it's because that is all she knows how to do. Yeah. The other thing that we have is conflicts in families. Yeah. Sometimes the father and the mother are not in good terms. When the parents are not in good terms, they are also emotionally not available or not ready to take care of the children. Unfortunately, the children will suffer emotionally because of this, because the parents themselves need help. And so two blind people cannot lead each other. So the parents need help because they themselves need emotional guidance, because they need to heal first. And they're also supposed to be taking care of the children. And that is why you will find that 80% of the time they are not even talking. So even if there was anything that needed to be shared about a kid's need for emotional support, or where they are having a problem, the mother cannot tell the father, or the father cannot talk to the mother. And so in the process, the child gets to suffer. Yeah, not because the parents have chosen to do that, but because they themselves are struggling emotionally. Yeah. Now the other thing that makes parents neglect their children is divorce. Yeah. If you parents are, or if a child's parents are going through a divorce process, they are not really prioritizing the child's welfare. Because in the first place, the reason they are there is because they are having struggles themselves. If your parents are struggling, obviously there will be human beings first of all attend to their matters before they attend to anyone else. So they will prioritize what is bothering them every day, every night, every morning when they wake up. They are not thinking about children, and they would not normally be expected to think about the children. Not that they have chosen not to, but ordinarily, human beings prioritize what is bothering them the more. If you as a child you are eating, if you are going to school, if you have a house or a roof over your head, your parents are not likely to think about what you are going through emotionally, and that's a problem. Yeah. The other issue that happens in many homes is substance abuse. Yeah, during our times it used to be fathers. Now even mothers are having issues. Yeah, and so when people are intoxicated, they are likely to misbehave in front of their children. They are likely to mishandle their children. They are likely to quarrel, yeah, themselves, fight in the presence of their children. And as you do that, you are affecting your child's emotional well-being or emotional health. Yeah, they are running what they shouldn't be running at their age. Maybe you are exposing them to things that are beyond their age, or you could also be hurting their feelings about you as parents. The other big problem is unresolved parental emotional issues. A parent may be carrying anger issues from her personal life, from childhood. Since it is not normal for us in our culture to go looking for assistance with therapies and counselors and things like that, we almost always carry those problems to adulthood, and even to our families, and even later very few people go to seek assistance from psychological service providers. Yeah, we hardly look for help as far as emotional or mental health is concerned. So you'll be attended by a mother who is herself having issues from her background, anger issues, wounds that haven't healed, and obviously she cannot give what she doesn't have. She doesn't have emotional balance, so she cannot give you emotional balance. She doesn't have one. So that's a major issue. And so, how can this be dealt with? Because especially the young people who are themselves raising children now, they may be complaining about their parents, the way they are handling them. But are they handling their children in any different way, or are they carrying the same problems into the next generation? Because personally, I have seen a lot of them doing the same things that used to be done to us, yeah, by our parents. Yes, them they are complaining about the way their parents have handled them, but when they start bringing up families, they are doing the same thing. Why? Because again, they have learned. The only way they have learned how to raise children is how their mothers raised them. And so there is need for intentional, a deliberate effort, a very deliberate effort to seek help, yeah, on parenting, so that we can break the cycle. Otherwise, we will complain about our parents, then we raise our children, the young people, raise their children the same way they were raised, and then the cycle continues. So there is need to deliberately get out of your way, seek help on the best practice, I mean the best parenting practices, and maybe try and help change the whole pattern. Yeah. So we shouldn't just do it as business as usual. We should try and get assistance.